And yes, kumusta po kayong lahat mga kaibigan? Alam namin na mas marami po ang malungkot ngayon. Totally heartbroken because of what happened dun po sa game between Magnolia and Ginebra just a few minutes back. No, pag-usapan po natin yan as well as other topics. No? Pag-usapan pa rin natin si Mikey Williams. Ano na nga po ba ang next na lagay nito? As well as ito pong Final Four ng UAAP. No? Atin din pong tignan yung preview niyan. Although we're still waiting for the Ateneo-Adamson game which I think will happen tomorrow, no? Or in the coming
Wednesday.
days. Oh, Wednesday. On Wednesday, no, para humalaman kung sino makakalaban ng UP. But anyway, pag-usapan nun natin yan. Papatiin ko muna ang aking idol. Sa wakas, natuloy din po kami. Walang iba. Boss Homer, magandang gabi sa'yo and welcome sa ating program, Boss Homer.
As usual, thanks for having me, Slow. Tapos sa iyo mga listeners. Good morning sa inyo. Good evening pala sa iyo dyan. Ano lang dito 7:20 dito sa Chicago.
Dito is 9:26 na, Boss Homer. Actually, mag-iisang oras na rin yung pain ng mga... So, eto, Boss Homer, were you able to watch the game kanina ng Ginebra at saka nitong Magnolia?
I saw the fourth quarter kasi nga I had to wake up early to prepare for the show natin. And, you know, I was listening to close game na nang nag-watch ako. And then I was amazed na when I listened to the broadcast na lamang pala ng 26 ang Ginebra.
Correct.
And to come back. But I just thought, you know, it was even in the end, it was a winnable game. Because in the last, I think, 34 seconds, lamang pa ang Ginebra ng isa. And then, they had three bites at the apple. But there was, to me, there was just, I think, yun lang, the Trini Pringle, they had an offensive rebound. Then, Ahan Misi shoots another three. Scottie Thompson grabs an offensive rebound right under the basket, layup, hindi pumasok. And then, that was the end of them. Pero, three bites at the apple, Spin wrote a very good headline. Alam mo naman si Dodo. A dose of their own medicine. Yung Ginebra, di ba? Usually, it's Ginebra on the other side pag may nagrarally coming behind from the depths of a 26-point deficit. You'd think na, Ginebra nalo. Pero ngayon, it's the other way around. But I'm not surprised. Magaling si Chito Victorero. Can you imagine the poise and the composure needed, no? 26, you're down 26 mo, di ba? Normally, yung mga players, nawawalan ng gana, di ba? You're down 26. Nag-iiba yung body language, nag-iiba yung approach nila sa game. But, you know, credit goes to Chito Victorino, Coach Chito, for, you know, telling the troops na, huwag kayo mag-discourage, kaya natin to. And it's, again, it's a testament to gaano ka magaling ang Magnolia, you know, under Coach Chito Victorino. Not just this conference, but, you know, even prior conferences. Kahit na ang Magnolia is, sabi lang natin, opinion ko lang to, is the least like of the three children of the San Miguel teams, di ba? Kasi Ginebra, San Miguel, and then Magnolia, di ba? Pero kahit na gano'n, they're still a very good team.
Pero, Boss Homer, ano sa tingin mo itong na to? Ano sa tingin mo yung dapat matutunan ng Ginebra dito? Meron ba silang dapat pindutin na panic button considering na it's a heartbreaking loss, no? Kasi ang taas-taas ng kumpiyansa mo, particularly nung first half, halos lahat ng tira ninyo from the outside pumapasok. And then, once na nag-adjust pala itong si Chito Victorero, lumabas yung parang kahinaan nila no? Yung Achilles heel nila dito. And I think isa dyan is yung kailangan nila ng isang big man talaga who would man yung inside, no, ng paint. Kasi yan yung kulang Kasi yung Bishop, I don't think parang nag-fit sa kanila. If you're going to look at it, parang redundancy to ng post nila Christian Stan Hardinger, di ba?
Yes, but you know, I'll give it time. I think the pieces are there. Kaya lang, you have to look at this. They're adding, you know, new personnel. Bago si Bishop, he came here, you know, as a replacement for Brownlee, as we know. Nakakailang practice lang siya. And then Ahan Misi is also new in the lineup. So, you know, things happen. Like the fact that I would, if I'm Ginebra, I would not look at it that we lost the game. The silver lining here, kumbaga, is, you were able to build a 26-point lead. So that's where you focus on. We were able to, build a 26-point lead. That's the positive. And moving forward, this is how to sustain it. And knowing Coach Tim Cone, I think he will make the necessary adjustment. Nag-aano pa sila ngayon nag-adjustment period pa yata sila. And obviously, you can see that yung sa last 3 possessions nila, sa last possession nila when they eventually lost the lead, yung dalawang free throw ni Bay, yun na nga, yung shot selection, and then, just the shots didn't fall. What are the odds na si Scottie Thompson would meet an uncontested layup under the basket? So, yun lang. So, may positive pa rin, Idol. I'll give them a few more games before I hand the verdict on whether Bishop is the right fit. Pero you have to remember, he had 31 points and 15 rebounds sa una nilang laro. So, I'm not just gonna discount that. So, tingnan natin as they move forward.
Okay, mga viewers ho natin, comment lang ho kayo sa baba. Ano po sa tingin ninyo yung naging kailangang i-arrest o i-address dito ng Ginebra? Dahil marami tayong mga nababasa rito mga komento. Sabi nila, maaga pa naman daw. Pero ang isa pa rito, Boss Homer, is yung siguro yung parang national team. Diba? Yung gel, yung chemistry ng mga players, yun yung isang wala rito. Kasi Missy, gaya nga na sinabi mo, bagong salta, itong si Tony Bishop, their import, who would expect na hindi nila makakasama si Justin Brownlee dito, 'di ba? And ano pa, yung mga viewers natin ang inyo po nakikita na kailangan pong i-address dito ng Ginebra, para hindi naman maging forgettable yung kanila pong campaign dito. Pero sa tingin mo, Boss Homer, ano pa yung ilang mga kahinaan, weaknesses ng Ginebra na lumabas sa laro na to? Kasi yung Magnolia, dito, pinatunayan nila talaga, Boss Homer, na yung yung sinasabi ng mga fans na pang lang sila pang on the road, di ba? On tour, di ba?
Yes.
Pang tournament na wala yung mga magagaling ng ibang mga teams. Pero this time out, parang they're slowly but surely showing us, na they're for real, di ba? Pero let's look at Ginebra muna. Ano sa tingin mo yung kailangan pa nilang tutukan dito ngayon, Boss Homer?
Well, yun na nga, sa akin lang, I think, as presently constituted, opinion ko lang to, Idol, as presently constituted naman, well, they could use really both L.A. Tenorio when he's back at 100% and running the offense again. I think that would also help Ginebra's cause. But yun na yun, sabi ko nga, it's just more, for now, I think they have the pieces. You have Thompson, you have Stan Hardinger, you still have Pringle, who can give you meaningful minutes. And you also have to consider Snow na Missy was a focal point of the converged offense. Dating niya dito sa Ginebra, he is at best the third option, di ba? So there's still a learning process then for him in the system. Pero gaya ng sinabi ko previously, I think whatever they lack, Tim Cone would find the necessary adjustments. At saka alam mo naman, once they determine after how many games na talagang kulang tayo, let's just say kung may kulang tayo sa point guard, I think Ginebra has the wherewithal naman to come up with something in a trade or whatever. Pero for right now, I'm content. Kung Ginebra fan ako, I'm content with what we have. It's 1-1 early in the Commissioner's Cup. You were up 26 teams. Things like this happen. You lose big leads.
Kaya nga. Pero ako dito, nakikita ko dito, Boss Homer, isang leadership
Yes.
Leadership ang kulang dito sa Ginebra ngayon, yung a glue guy, na
yes,
magtitimon doon sa kupunan, especially sa mga pressure packed point o moment ng laro. Yun yung wala
Yes.
Tenorio na dapat mag-provide, wala, nasa sideline. Di ba?
Yes.
And then, Justin Brownlee na usually nagpo-provide niya ng energy and leadership. Wala.
Yes.
Di ba? Pero ang tanong natin ngayon, Boss Homer, pati sa mga viewers natin, dapat bang magpalit ng import and then i-maximize nila yung height limit? Kasi, boss, to think na yung Magnolia, hindi ganun kataas yung ceiling nito. Pero, di ba, although sa early goings kasi, boss, out-rebounded ng Ginebra yung Magnolia pero ikaw ba,
yes,
do you think they can stick with Tony Bishop? Malayo ba mararating nila? O dapat mag-evaluate sila ng bago na habang hinihintay pa si Justin Brownlee na baka February pa ito pwedeng lumaro?
Yes, wait and see yata sila. From what I'm told, nakausap ko yon si Tony Bishop. His contract is, he has a 60-day contract. So, there is also an economic consideration here. Kasi if you bring in another import, no, that would mean you have to pay Bishop before he goes. So, and then, I don't know what the impact that is with Ginebra, but, medyo complicated. And then you have to call in another one, diba? So, mahirap. But to me nga, sabi ko, Bishop, remember him at Meralco, he was really good. The problem out there in Meralco is hindi siya mas maraming tulong doon because obviously Meralco does not have the same local manpower and talent as Ginebra, diba? So when you have a high-powered offense like Ginebra, nandoon na si Stan Hardinger, you have Pringle, you have Scotty Thompson, you don't really need an import to carry the load for you. So para sa akin, Bishop is enough. It's just ngayon lang nga, it's just try to make everybody play as one group pulling on the same rope. So yun lang, kailangan lang nila ng chemistry. Like I said, if they had not bungled the lead, kung nanalo ang Ginebra ngayon, Idol, we would not be having this conversation. The conversation would be like, ang galang ng Ginebra, si Bishop, talagang perfect fit. Kaya lang, fans are very fickle. Kita nila agad, very sensitive, very emotional. But I know right now, si Tim Cone, probably hindi pa natulog, watching film and see how he can, yes.
So, tingin mo, fit sa system itong si Bishop?
Yes, Bishop is very good. When he was in Meralco, I've gotten to know him as a constant, nagte-text kami palagi. And, talagang systemic naman siya eh. And he adapts in a system, hindi siya, sanay lang kasi tayo sa Ginebra when the going gets rough, Brownlee takes over. And yun na nga, Tony Bishop is not that guy. So kung kailangan mo ng leadership na kagaya kay Brownlee nag-take over, then you change imports. Pero if you trust enough your locals to take over the game na hindi over-reliant sa import, then you stick with Tony Bishop. Mm-hmm. So yun lang.
Pero ito yung mga viewers ko natin. Ano ang sa tingin ninyo nagkulang ang Ginebra sa laro kanina? Kasi parang sa lineup ng Ginebra, sa firepower na dala-dala nila, Boss Homer, parang unusual na yung 26-point lead, bigla mahahabol eh. Although I'm not trying to underestimate Magnolia, di ba? Kasi if we're going to look at yung level ng experience sa mga playoffs, championships, pwede mo masabi lamang yung yung Ginebra dahil yung lineup niyan, ilang championships na mga nilaruan ng mga players yan eh. Di ba? While itong Magnolia, halos puro mga bata ito, di ba, Boss Homer?
100%. And you also have to mention, wala si Calvin, di ba? From what I was told previously, I didn't see the totality of the game, pero Coach Chito Victorino told me via text message 2 weeks ago na Calvin would not play until December 1. So I'm operating on the presumption na hindi siya naglaro today. And like I said, I can't begin to tell you how hard it is to come back from a 26-point deficit, Idol. That's almost like 9 possessions. It's a 9-possession ball game, di ba? Yun din, I go back to what you said, na yung leadership. Kasi, ang nakita ko, it's a very small sample size, but at that last, in the waning 30 seconds of the ball game, yun kinakailangan leadership ni Tenorio to really handle the ball nice, distribute it, and shot selection. I was questioning the shot selection yung last 30 seconds nga because you're up 1, the time is an ally, why are you taking 2 3-point shots? Diba? Or, you think the best option would be a screen and pop, a mid-range jumper, or penetrate, penalty na. Penetrate, get 2 free throws, and put the pressure on Magnolia. Instead, you bail out the other team by, kasi I don't care how good a player shoots, at the end of the day, the 3-point shot is 22.5 feet away from the basket, diba? At best, 44% free throw shooter ka, di ba? O 3-point shooter ka. So, shot selection, leadership ni Tenorio, it was missed, and also Brownlee taking over the game.
Pero ikaw, Boss Homer, tingin mo yung Magnolia right na for
Ye- yes. Remember the time when, yun ang maganda na Magnolia. The core is there. And if they have the right input, remember the time yung malapit na sila mag-final sa yun yan. That was the year that they came this close to winning the championship. This year, magaling yan si Tyler Bay, dating Dallas Mavericks yan. He's legit NBA credentialed ano yan. So, yeah, I have to gila mo yung uh, the guy who sealed the game also for Magnolia was Tyler Bay, yung dalawang free throw niya that eventually pulled Magnolia over the hump. So to answer your question, yes, hinog na hinog yung Magnolia. People tend to discount na yung PBA Tour, meaningless, ganito. Pero sabi ni Coach Chito sa akin, they used it, yung PBA Tour, while other teams did not use it, did not take it seriously. Yung mga stars nila, hindi pinalalaro. Yung kay Coach Chito, he used the PBA Tour as the vehicle na mag-chemistry, yung makadevelop ng chemistry yung mga players niya. He used it as the platform na yung mga reserves niya can identify their roles. So, when the regular season came, yung dumating na yung Commissioner's Cup, ready na. Kumbaga sa kotse, naka-tune up na yung Magnolia. And you're seeing it now. 3-0. 3-0 yung 3-0 yung record nila. Yes. Yes. I don't know. That would be unfair to Bishop because it's apples and oranges. I can even say the question now: would they even lead by 26 kung si Brownlee, di ba? Because Brownlee would demand so much from the ball. Ginebra's offense would be so reliant on him. With Bishop, I think the ball moves around better. There's more distribution. So mahirap sagutin ang question. Very subjective, arbitrary. I don't.
Correct. Tama. Okay, so basa pa ako ng mga messages dito, Boss Homer, bago tayo lumipat sa San Miguel kung hindi ba, nabasa ko na yun. Dapat yan, patunayan na ito. Si Mau Latru, sabi niya, minalas lang boss at sinuwerte ang Magnolia. Kita naman sa mga tira ng Ginebra sa third quarter, halos isinusukan ng rig eh. Yan yung mahirap, naubusan sila ng swerte kasi nung first half,
yes,
halos lahat ng 3-point, Maverick Misi, brother first quarter pa lang, nakatatlong 3-pointer na agad. Di ba? Ito si Maverick Misi. Okay, so patuloy lang ko kayo mag-comment tungkol sa Ginebra. No, sabi ni Gremar, Ginebra at Magnolia, sabi ni Gremar Castillo, that's what they're lacking earlier, boss, no? Yung mga mag-take over sa game kapag kailangan. Bishop disappeared late in the game. Okay, so siguro nag-a-adjust pa rin si Bishop no? Tapos hindi niya alam pa yung gaano yung sistema kasi alam naman natin, isa ho talaga sa pinaka-komplikado no? Sa PBA is itong sistema nitong si Coach Timko, no? But, yun, tama yung ibang mga viewers natin kanina, no? Let's give him some more time no, to adjust, di ba, and adapt, di ba? Anyway, mahaba-haba pa naman po ito. Dalawang laro pa lang po yung ipinapakita ng Ginebra. Okay, what about Meralco and San Miguel? Boss Homer, were you able to watch or nabasa mo lang yung mga stories kasi tulog ka pa ng time na to, di ba?
Yeah, tulog pa ako ng time na hindi ko nabasa. But I'm just sad na si Terence Romeo. He's injured again. I was so happy na after that prolonged absence because of a back injury, di ba? And he finally came back, scored 26 points the last game. So tinanong ko yung, dating nag-handle sa kanya. I said, is he finally healthy? I said, yeah, healthy na si Terence. And timing kasi his contract would expire sometime in the middle of next year. So August yata, I'm not sure. But you never want to see good players or bad players. So you never want to see a player injured. And then to see him today play only so few minutes, tapos na injured before the second half, nakaka-frustrate. So hopefully yung bone bruise, hopefully he'd recover because San Miguel can really use him too, diba? Magaling din si magaling si Terence, obviously.
Pero don't you think it's about time that San Miguel reassess yung kanilang backcourt spot? Kasi aging and then injury prone na, di ba? So, tingin mo ba dapat i-address na ito ng San Miguel? Kasi yung frontline nila, andyan yan, solid eh. Di ba?
Yes. In time, Terence and I think Simon Enciso's contracts are both expiring sometime next year. So I think that would be a good time if they decide na, they will change the direction of the point guards nila. Kasi CJ Perez, di ba, is also not getting any younger. So I think tama yung sinabi mo. If this team needs to be, hindi naman rebuild kailangan, konting tweak lang, you have to look at your guard spot. Tingnan mo yung Meralco. They have this 3-guard monster. Poli, Baroka, and Halalon, di ba? Galing.
Magnolia.
Yeah, Magnolia, yes, yeah. Magnolia. Yung 3-guard rotation nila. So,
Actually, nung hindi ginamit ni Chito Victorero sila Baroka, ang bagal ng start nung nung Magnolia kanina di ba? So, pero going back to San Miguel, Boss Homer, ano sa tingin mo tong team na to? Hindi ba sila nagmamadali? Mukhang may alam silang paparating na point guard sa kanilang lineup kasi kaya hindi pa sila nagpa-panic button at this point?
Yes, I don't know. May mga conspiracy theory nga. And it's also backed with some dose of reality, diba? Nangyayari naman na yung mahahabang pick sa ibang team, di na lang natin i-mention, bigla na lang dumarating sa San Miguel or sa Ginebra. So maybe a trade in the work. Maybe at some point, Stephen Holt will be, perfect si Stephen Holt there because, he already a veterano yun. The pieces are already there. Nandun yung mga bigs mo. They have, obviously, Ginebra has the, San Miguel, has the money to secure imports during imports conference-laden conferences, no? So yeah, posible yan. Maganda yung theory mo.
Boss, dapat tandaan ng tao dito, San Miguel was about to troubleshoot yung kanilang backcourt until nagkaroon ng problema tong Ginebra with Jeremiah Gray na na-injure and L.A. Tenorio. Kaya si Maverick Ahanmisi, dyan po napunta muna sa Ginebra. Supposedly, 98% na yan that time, papunta na San Miguel eh. Di ba, Boss Homer?
Yes, I don't know how whether the percentage was, pero yun ang sinabi. Nakausap ko si Danny Espiritu, yung agent niya. He was weighing heavily on between TLT and San Miguel, but also near the end na nang dumating na talaga si Ahanmisi here from the state. He admitted na it's between San Miguel na or Ginebra.
Pero ito lang po if San Miguel will rejig yung kanilang backcourt, ito yung mga candidates dyan, boss. Ang dami. Ha? Robert Bolick. Tama?
Yes.
Kwame Chongson. Si Holt.
Yes.
Kung papayagan ng PBA, pero alam ko may ruling yan na pagka first pick, hindi mo pwede muna i-trade di ba?
Two conference ba? Ano yung bagong memo? Is it two conferences or 2 years?
Parang ganun parang two conference. Hindi ko alam, pero dapat yan, 1 year yan di ba? So, but nonetheless, so yan yung tatlong candidates, di ba? So far.
Yes.
Meron ka pang Mikey Williams. Yan kung magkakaroon ng magandang kasunduan, ito pong kasi boss, ito may nadinig akong ugong-ugong na kaya pala kinuha ng Ginebra ay ng San Miguel, ito pong si Jeronteng gagamitin daw trade asset. Gagawin palang trade asset ito, boss Di ba? Na po pwede nilang ipalit, dadagdagan na lang ng isa. Di ba? Papunta dun sa either. Kasi dalawa yun ngayon pwede nilang iba to si Teng. Kung yan yung plano ng San Miguel talaga, pwede nilang iba to si Teng sa Northport, kukunin nila si Robert Bolick. Di ba? Dadagdagan na lang ng isang player. O pwede nilang iba to sa token text. Tapos kasi yung San Miguel hindi sila nag-give up ng mga star players talaga nila Di ba? So, ang gagawin niyan is magbibigay sila ng isang medyo player na either pasikat pa lang o pababa na yung laro. Dadagdagan nila ng isa and Jeronteng is a perfect plus, no? doon ho sa magiging trade proposal nila. What do you think of this one? Have you heard of this, Boss Homer?
Wala akong, yun na nga, actually, I interviewed Jerome Teng and I asked him na temporary ba tong stay niya sa San Miguel, because we did a story on it, di ba, na kung pit stop lang ba to or is this his next home away from home. Hindi sumagot. He was very evasive. Sabi niya, no, he is where he is now and he will honor his commitment to San Miguel. So, I don't know. Wala ako na. Alam mo naman ako, Snow, hindi ako, yung mga kulilig ko, 3-4 lang. Yung sa'yo, you have a whole army. Pero it makes sense. Diba? It makes sense for San Miguel to really rejig the backcourt.
Pero do you think it's about time for San Miguel to somehow tweak yung kanilang backcourt ngayon?
You know, it's mahirap, so because we're not really there. I mean, if I'm George Gallant and I see nakikita yung galaw ng mga players, I see how much really is left in the tank with CJ Perez, how better can Inciso be, and you know, unless you see that actually on practice, you see that may visceral ano ka talaga, then you can make an honest evaluation. Pero from us as an outsider, it's hard. It's hard. Pero given the option, you know, if you can get Bolik for any of those guys, sure, I would get it. Why not, di ba?
Pero kung ikaw si George Gallant, anong gagawin mo ngayon? Will you stick it out do sa lineup mo ngayon?
Yeah, I'd stick it out muna and wait and see another conference or two or maybe one conference kasi alam mo naman ang expectation when you play for San Miguel or Ginebra, the expectation is to always win. Hindi kagaya ng ibang mga team, di ba, na you know, there is little expectation of a title. You know, with their budget and the manpower that they have, San Miguel and Ginebra are expected to win. So they don't really have the luxury of time to wait. So kung nakikita ng San Miguel na, you know, lalo na ngayon, they're 1-1. Agad, if 5 games, another 4-5 games, and you see the urgency. So kung makikita nila, then next conference, they have to rejig the point guard or the guards, yung guard rotation nila. So,
what about Robert Bolik? Where is he headed?
Wala pa. Kausap ko yung agent niya. He's nandito, umuwi na yata pero nandito si Marvin. He's in LA. And the last time we spoke, bumalik na.
Last week, nakabalik na si Marvin.
Yeah, he was here for 7 days. I think that was Sunday. Wednesday ngayon Sunday ngayon. So, like last Wednesday, tumawag siya sa akin. I had a missed call from Boss Marvin. The last time we spoke, sabi niya wala pang they're not even talking money yet. But there is willingness. Yun na rin nga. There is willingness on both sides na babalik siya sa Northport. But you don't know what Northport's plans are. Baka, you know, why would you take him in first kung wala pa tayong plano? Siguro kung may plano na saan talaga papunta si Bolik, then they will make that deal. But for now, relax muna si Bolik.
Time is of the essence. Dapat, dapat ngayon pa lang gumawa na rin ng hakbang itong si Bolik kasi partner, bababa yung kumpiyansa niya tsaka yung laro niya, madidi-condition siya and I don't think he's playing high-level basketball at this point since he left yung Firebands, di ba?
Yeah, and you know, sometimes it gets so wearisome, di ba? Kasi it happened to Bolik before, remember na wala din siyang contract sa Northport and he came back like when the conference, like I think 4-5 games into the conference. So, mahirap sometimes, you know, why is always so much drama, di ba? Just play. Yun ang sinabi mo yung tweet mo kay Mikey Williams na, you know, forget all the other stuff. At the end of the day, when you're a player, you play. Whatever team that is, you play. You don't, ang haba naman ng break ng PBA. And even when he left the Firebands, that was like what, a month ago? And until now, wala pa ring resolution where, you know, whether you're going back to Northport or not. So yun lang ang problema. Yeah, I won't be surprised, first of all, if you're Bolik, not only did you walk away from so much money in Japan, you're not making any money now. Diba? So, and then you need that livelihood kahit naman, I'm not here pocket watching, pero, you're a player, you're supposed to play, and, kahit na mayroon ka nang naipon or how much resources you have, at the end of the day, kailangan mo pa rin ng livelihood. So, I won't be surprised kung lalaro si Bolick next week. For now, Northport. I think. Kasi, mahirap naman. You sign him, they have his rights, right? So, he plays and then he trade mo agad. So, I think he'll stay with Northport. But at the same time, I would not put it past the PBA na i-trade agad immediately after signing him.
Pero do you think he will play longer pa sa Northport? Do you see him wearing the Northport jersey until next year? Or
I don't think so. I don't think so, di ba? If you're Northport, you have to question his commitment also, di ba? Kasi iniwan siya, di ba? Pumunta ng Japan, right? So, and then Northport also, sa tingin ko, long term, it does not have the same financial wherewithal to pay the kind of money that Bolick deserves to be paid. Diba? So it's either Bolick will get as much money to go only if he goes to SMC or an MVP group team.
Correct. Anyway, going back to San Miguel kanina, boss, si Kit Jimenez, na-injured.
Yes, na-injured, na-elbow daw.
Oo. What do you think of that hit? Tingin mo ba sinadya yun? O talagang parang welcome to the PBA na na hazing?
Kaibigan ko si Hodge. He's very nice to me. Every time I talk to him, interview, text message, mabait. So I would not put judgment on him. But all I can say is, very physical si Hodge. And then, hindi naman, I see the video now. It was a play for the ball naman talaga. He was trying to get the offensive rebound, passing it to the corner of his teammate. Kaya lang, natamaan lang siya, otherwise, diba, the referees were there. There was a sideline referee on the left. If there was malintent, it would have already called flagrant foul. Kaya lang, sometimes, just like Draymond Green, diba, sa Golden State Warriors, people immediately say, kasi Draymond Green, diba, he is given the opposite of the benefit of the doubt. Pero para sa akin, Hodge is never a dirty player. Physical lang talaga. And,
kumbaga, kangkarot no? Kangkarot Parang yan yung term natin mga Pilipino sa basketball court. Kangkarot na pagka binangga mo at hindi ka nag-iingat, tatamaan ka.
Yes. And, Kit, naman si Kit his game naman, nagreklamo. So, anyway, I'm looking at the slow motion again. He was out of position. He was trying to rebound. Tapos that's the consequences going up against a big, di ba? So, yun, at the end of the day, kung talagang may malice doon, the PBA would have already issued the flagrant foul. Pero wala, the play continued.
Ako, boss, dito, nakikita ko dito, si Kit didn't expect na ganong kalakas yung mababangga sa kanyang bakal. Di ba? Kasi, as we all know, sanay sa ligan labas to, halos kasi laki niya yung mga kalaban niya. Di ba? Hindi kasing katulad itong mga big men ng PBA na talagang malalaki, nag-gym halos araw-araw, di ba? Kaya hindi niya in-expect na ganun yung maso na tatama sa mukha niya. So, di ba? Parang no? Parang dito siya nagising na nasa PBA na pala ako. Di ba? Kasi
iba talaga laro sa atin. Even yung mga Phil-Am na nare-recruit ng mga collegiate team sa UAAP, yun ang unang impression nila, napaka-physical ng game sa UAAP. And that's the same. Yung PBA is like 4 times even more physical than the UAAP. So yun is the hardest adjustment of any player once you immerse yourself in the PBA. Malalaki yun Tapos may mga weight regimen yun, may mga lifting regimen. Tapos si Hodge pa naman, Phil-Am yan, malaki, di ba? So yun, it's a eye-opening for Kit Jimenez na, hindi basta-basta yan, mahirap din sa ilalim. Bang with guys like yung nila Ian Sanggalang, nila ni Japet, hirap doon.
Paano pa?
So I hope I hope walang serious injury si Kit.
Paano pa kung kay Alipik na siya tumama, di ba? Kung naabutan niyo yung panahon nila Alipik nung araw, sila Eric Mike, na yung mga braso, troso.
Patay. Sila Nelson Asaytono, di ba?
Pero ako, boss, tama ka, no? This should be an eye-opener for somebody like Kit Jimenez na, di ba, hindi ganun kalakihan, tapos sasabay ka doon sa mga malalaki. Di ba? Na pag tinamaan ka talaga, solid yan. Di ba? Ang lalaki niyan eh, di ba? Yes. Like sila Asi, di ba? Yung mga yan. Pero ngayon, sila Stan Hardinger, yung mga active players, di ba? Sina Sanggalang, correct ka, wala pa si Calvin dyan. Di ba? Si Calvin, napapanood ko sa liga na yes. Ilang kilay ang pinaputok niyan. Boss Homer.
Yes. Yes, and hindi mo naman ma-blame si Kit for the eagerness, di ba? Kasi look at the hype, di ba? Nalalaro siya. There were stories about, 76 yung number niya dahil he was drafted 76. So, he knows. I don't know if he reads his own press, but, eager yung bata, excited. He always been telling the media na it was his boyhood dream to wear the San Miguel uniform. They have the uniform of a PBA team. So, excited siya. And then, hindi niya siguro na temper yung enthusiasm niya. Kasi he went for the ball. Ito, nangyari. But hopefully, okay lang siya.
Pero why do you think San Miguel is giving him the playing minutes? Although hindi siya ginamit sa NLEX di ba? Pero why do you think San Miguel is giving Kit Jimenez the playing minutes? Kailangan ba siya? Tingin mo?
Well, no, it goes back to your own premise na, kailangan yatang, maybe it's an audition, di ba? Maybe it's an open audition to say, kailangan ba natin ng new blood sa guard rotation natin? Di ba? Or maybe, it was a function of Terence Romeo being injured. So it's hard. Yun lang ang yun ang problema. Walang masyadong transparency, di ba? Yung coaches, when you ask them, they're very evasive. Hindi mo makuha talaga kung anong gusto mong matanong. Dito sa NBA, you have 15 minutes of media availability sa mga coaches after the game, and when you ask a question, talagang sasagutin ka. Remember, even I like Coach Frankie Lim. I was a fan of him when he was still playing and I was still a young reporter. Pero nung natalo yung NLEX, he said, it's not a good time. What do you mean it's not a good time? Media availability yan. Diba? Dapat, after the game, you are obligated to talk to the media because, the fans have a right to know kung ano nangyari. You have to answer those questions, hard as they may be. Tapos yung mga sponsors, diba? So yun lang ang problema sa atin. I wish I could, interview George Gallant if I were a media there, kung nasa on-site ako, then I'd ask those questions. What do you think of your guard rotation? Kailangan ba tayo nito? Ganito, ganon. Wala. So yun ang mahirap. And then, if you make assumptions, sasabihin ka, hindi lang ako tinanong. Yun ang exactly what happened with Mikey Williams. Bigla na lang siyang nagreklamo na, fake news, ganito, ganon. Pero, every time I ask him na, would you like to comment? Ito yung narinig ko, ganito, ganon. Hindi nagko-comment. Pero, pag lalabas na yung story, umiiyak. So, that's crazy. That's not fair. Diba? Yes. Yeah.
Mas dapat nyo kaming parusahan kung hindi namin ginagawa yung mga trabaho namin. Di ba kasi ngayon, yung mga trolls, di ba, yung mga burner accounts ng mga personalities, parang lagi tayong tinitira na Kesyo Chismoso daw, pakialamero. Hindi ko kami pakialamero. Nilalabas lang ho namin yung dapat naming ilabas kasi meron tayong issue may problema Di ba? Like for example, itong si Mikey Williams. Ito nga, Brad si Chris Ross nga, sumabat na rin sa kwentuhan Di ba? Stop talking about other people's pockets, di ba? Bakit hindi natin pag-uusapan yung pocket itong si Mikey William Yan yung rason kung bakit wala siya at hindi siya naglalaro ngayon. Di ba?
Yeah. Yeah, what I respect Chris Ross. To me, he's a very he has wisdom and very well spoken. Pero ito lang, I think he misunderstood yung when we're talking about money. You cannot talk about a player's money kung how he spends his money. How he, kung may sweldo siya, whether he wastes his money or not. Pero, we are talking about players' money in the PBA in the context of salary cap. We are talking about their money in the context of whether he deserves that kind of pay. Hindi naman kami nakikialam kung paano gagastusin yun o kung baka sa when a report when a reporter says, oh, si Mikey Williams, nag-iinuman doon sa bar, ang laki, naku, 100,000 ang bill. So that's none of our business. It's his money kung paano niya gustong gastusin. Pag sabihin, si Cliff Hodge, bumibili ng nung Louis Vuitton na backpack. Naku, mahal yun. 150,000 yun. That's none of our business. That's his money. It's his money to spend and however he spends it. But in the purview of media, pag sabihin namin na, naku, si Mikey nanghingi ng allegedly $40,000 a month, then we are entitled to ask the question, but 40,000, di ba, ang salary cap ng PBA, ganito lang. So that's what we're talking about money here. We're not talking about money, how did they dispense it, ganito. So yun ang na-misunderstood ng mga tao. It's no different than, remember the time yung si Justice Corona na people were saying na, ano ba yung bakit may malaking bahay, bakit daming kotse, allegedly, di ba? So, people are not pocket watching. They're just saying na if a public official, kumbaga, let's just say, general ka ng military, tapos alam natin ang pasweldo ng general, ganito lang. Tapos nakikita ka na may Mercedes ka, tsaka yung anak mo may BMW. So, that's when talking about income and money is allowable in the sphere of reporting, di ba? So, yun ang hindi na iintindihan ng mga vloggers kasi wala silang background sa atin. No, I'm not saying we're better. I'm just saying we're more trained. Ikaw, galing ka ng TV, galing ka ng radio. I'm a child of the newspaper industry. When back in the day, hindi kami, yung pag mag-write ako ng story, back in the day, in the 90s when I started, yung story ko dadaan sa proofreader, dadaan sa sports editor, dadaan sa news editor, dadaan sa editor-in-chief bago mag-post.
May regulation.
Yes.
May regulation.
Yeah. Checks and balances. That is what separates Spin.ph, from the bloggers and all that stuff. Kasi may may gatekeeper tayo, nandun si Boss Dodo, diba? So, that's what you need, a good editor. Maski ako, sometimes I write, I get carried away, and Dodo would call me, hey, Homer, medyo tanggalin natin. Okay, it's okay. It's part of the business. So, yun ang hindi naiintindihan ng mga Kaya nga, yung letter ko, explainer. Yung open letter ko kay Mikey, explainer. Tingnan mo, walang kipot. When Mikey tweeted na I'm a goof, ganito daw, ganon, maski sa sariling tweet niya, daming mga negative. Isa lang nag-negative doon sa against me. Most of the people like, hey, drama queen ka. Sinabi mo, liar yung reporter, but how about your lies? Diba? So, yun ang So, that's why yun ang sabi ko sa tatay ni Mikey. I speak to him very often. So, matawag ako. Sabi ko, hey, Curtis, here's what I'm hearing and here's what I'm reporting. Can you relay this to Mikey? I even wait a day or two bago siya sasagot. Pag walang sagot, I've already done my job in so far as vetting and reaching out on the other side, for the other side, diba?
Yeah, were you able to talk to Mikey's dad after the tweet ni Mikey telling you na, kumbaga, parang you're trying to spread rumors, di ba nakausap mo na siya, pinagbawalan ba niya yung tatay niya?
No, I didn't call Curtis yet because first of all, it's a Sunday, and then sabi ko, it was a weekend. Tapos sabi ko, I'll give it space muna. I'm sure, blood is always thicker than water. You don't know, tumawag na si Mikey, baka pinagalitan na siya na, wag ka. Kasi one time I spoke to his father and he said, I can't, you can't, that is not the reason why. Nilalabas ko lang to because I'm being called a liar. Otherwise, I'd never out my sources, diba? So, when you are called a liar and a goof, then the gloves are off too on my end. Yung tatay, the only reason why I never out him in my stories na nakausap ko siya, it's because, sabi mismo ng tatay niya, I can't let Mikey know I'm talking to you because, I don't wanna get the consequences. Baka daw pagalitan siya, di ba? So,
pero was it his dad who told you that 2.4 million yung hinihingi niya per month? Was it his dad or per person privy to the negotiations?
2 PBA executives told me nang hingi ng 2.4 million pesos. So tinawagan ko yung tatay. Sabi ko, Curtis, this is what I heard. Nanghingi daw ng 2.4 million pesos a month, which is roughly $42,780 in today's currency exchange. So, alam mo, sabi ng tatay? Sabi ng tatay, so what? That's his value. If the value. So, hindi deny, di ba? So, you would think na sabihin, naku, kaya di na gano'n. But in fairness naman sa tatay, hindi daw siya palaging kinakausap ni Mikey. Tapos, yung dalawang tao naman na Mikey supposedly trust na holds his, yung handles his business there in Manila, silent night daw, hindi na rin sumasagot sa kanila. So I think that is also the reason why sabi ni Mikey na I'm the only one, sabi niya, di ba? All caps pa nga, only one. I'm the only one who knows. So, but I have no reason not to believe na nagsinungaling yung dalawang PBA executives ko. Alam mo naman, it's a very small community. How many teams? But 12, di ba? And then all the team executives are friends kasi they have to do business, di ba? Trading here, getting a player here, left and right. So they talk. And, so yan ang narinig ko, 2.4 million. That is why nga, I reach out to Mikey Williams' dad to make sure anong reaction mo. So, anong masabi mo? Can you relay this to Mikey? Mikey hindi sumasagot. Bigla na lang nag-tweet. So, like I said, my job is to, yung sinabi mo nga, Snow, it would be malpractice on the part of us as reporters. Kasi si Mikey, ito din, hindi naintindihan ng mga vloggers saka yung mga haters dyan. It's public interest. Why is it public interest? It's because Mikey is a public figure. And TNT is a public entity. Diba? People pay to see them. People pay hard-earned money to go to the PBA games. They are entitled to know kung fans ako, you tweeted this, kung fans ako ng TNT, I have the right to know. I pay, I buy merchandise for them, I patronize them, inconvenience myself, kahit hindi ako pumunta doon, I could inconvenience my schedule watching their games, sinusuporta ko yung Smart, sinusuporta ko mga produkto nila. I have the right to know why my best player is not there. Diba? And it's our job to find out kung bakit. And if we are given information from the team and the league kung bakit ganon, it would be malpractice on our part not to report it. Because we cannot just sit on that kind of information. Kasi tayo, yun naman mga haters, bloggers, or even the regular fans na mga mababait, they do not have, we are the bridge between the fans and the players. Kasi tulay tayo, wala sila, di ba? They're not allowed. After the game, yung mga fans naka-hold ng ticket, uuwi sila. Tayo nasa locker room. So we are that bridge to connect them. Di ba? So, yun ang importante. And sometimes people just use it as, they dismiss media work as only convenient when it suits their narrative, di ba? Di ba? Kung gusto nilang kung may gusto silang, if they want to find out something and ascertain it, takbo sila sa media. Tingnan nga natin sa spin kung totoo ba to. Di ba? Pero kung if they don't like the narrative, they would say, di totoo yan sinabi ng spin. Clickbait yan. So, yun ang problema. So,
kaya nga. Hindi kasi there's a difference between fan page ng mga teams at mga players na paborito ninyo sa media. Kasi kami, yung mga fan pages, ang i-report lang yan, yung mga magaganda tungkol sa team at saka sa mga favorite athletes ninyo. Pero kami po sa media, i-report po namin yan ng balanse. Diba? Kasi kung mapapansin mo nga, Boss Homer, may nagsasabi, pabor tayo sa San Miguel, tsaka sa mga San Miguel Corporation team, tsaka sa Ginebra. May nagsasabi, galit tayo sa TNT. May magsasabi naman, diba? Kampi natin yung TNT, galit tayo sa San Miguel kasi kaaway ko raw si Al Francis. Diba? May mga ganun eh. So, sa punto po na yan, makikita ninyo na balanse kami. Kasi kumbaga sa kontrabida sa pelikula, nagagalit kayo sa amin. Kasi ginagawa ko namin yung trabaho namin. Di ba, Boss Homer?
Yes, before all this happened, I had 3 very good columns favorable of Mikey Williams. Di ba? So, Nako, ang daming mga comment na magkano daw ang commission ko, pang magkano daw binigay ni Mikey sa
Tama.
akin, yung TNT daw, ano ko, masyado akong payable sa TNT. Then one column, I write about, about Mikey na, ano na ng termination contract, nag-tweet ako ng 2.4 million, bigla na lang akong, Mikey, ba't ka magalit kay Mikey? So, yun na, sometimes people, that's why nga, people tend to be uncomfortable, uneasy with the truth, di ba? Kung hindi nga mag-suit sa narrative nila, yun ang problema. So, ako, nagre-rely na lang ako sa mga fans na who would know how to sift the fact between the fiction. So, yun, pag nakikita kayo, nagme-message sa akin in support and ganito, sabi ko, I cannot please everybody. What I can assure you is that I will do my job as best I could. And part of the job,
Na-offend ka nung tinweet ka ni Mikey?
no, I do not exist to placate the feelings of Mikey Williams. And if he wakes up this morning and hating and we're very angry, it's really, I don't really give a damn. Kasi I did that intentionally. Kung na-hurt man ang feelings niya, it was not my intention. And if you come back, it's about personal accountability. Kung ako si Mikey Williams, but not it's his fault. He's the one not playing. It's not me. Yun ang sabi ko sa kanya when I answered his tweet. Sabi ko, if you don't like the message, do not shoot the messenger. Diba? I've always said it many times. He's a very good player. TNT needs him. Just come back and play. According to the agent who used to represent Mikey Williams, he was getting daw, yung agent to, this is not from me, yung current contract ni Mikey is $24,000 a month. Why is that not enough? If that's not enough, then that's not on TNT, that's on Mikey, di ba? $24,000. Well, I don't blame TNT because TNT naman, kung totoo to if it's true na he's asking for $42,000 a month, which obviously na-deny na ni Mikey kasi he said it's a lie. So even then, if you're TNT, at some point you've already made so many concessions, di ba? They suspend him, may mga allegation na, yung whatever, he mispracticed, ganito, ganon. You can only make so many concessions. Napapagod ang team. It's like, ano ba to? And then besides, $24,000, kung totoo is what he's getting in his current contract. That's a lot of money. Alam natin, PBA max deal is supposed to be only $420,000 a month. Diba? Pesos. Diba? So $24,000 is way over the salary cap. And if you're not happy with that, besides pa, ito narinig ko like most TNT and most PBA players, diba? May mga free housing sila doon sa Rockwell. And si Mikey, I was told by TNT na may driver pa, may free accommodations, plus pa yung malaking sweldo mo. Why is that not enough? Right? So yun lang. So yun lang ang sabi ko. It's all on Mikey. Mikey, if Mikey cannot live on $24,000 a month, that's not TNT's problem. I know. I can also go advocate on the other side and say, hey, that's my value. Yeah. So kung hindi kayo magka-agree, the point is the best, how to resolve conflict is not by walking away and not answering the messages from the team. If I were Mikey, if I were the one giving him advice, I would have said, hey, come back here. You play the 24,000 as the conference goes on, then we negotiate. That way you're earning money, the team is not being disadvantaged. And then, ilang buwan lang naman this conference. It's like until December, diba? If he had come home November 5, and even in the uneasiness hindi ako happy ganito, but I'll still be a professional. I'll play out what's in my contract, although I'm still actively renegotiating it. Lalaruin ko lang. And kung talagang walang magawa, after December, tapos ng conference, good faith, you can ask for a release, and then you can play elsewhere. So instead, what he's doing, sabi ng agent niya, na nag-handle sa kanya before Marvin Espiritu took over, Mike is, according to him, sabotaging his own career. Diba? So, what harm would what harm would have it done, Snow, if umuwi lang si Mikey on November 5, played for TNT until December, go through the pain or whatever na hindi ako happy dito, pero just play and then make 24,000 pesos a dollars a month, and then after the conference, go wherever you wanna go. So instead, he went the other way and said, hey, ayoko umuwi. Hindi ko sagutin yung mga messages. Di ako kasi yun nasabi ni Coach Chot Reyes, di ba? Active consultant, senior consultant ngayon, we're not hearing anything. So that means TNT tried everything in its power to communicate with him. Tapos walang reciprocity from Mikey. So, which is sad kasi at the end of the day, mabait na bata yan si Mikey and he's a good player. Diba? He should be playing. And it's good for the fans din. Lalo na TNT, wala si Pugoy. Even when they lost, remember when they lost to Magnolia on November 5, sabi nga ni acting coach Jolas, sabi niya, ang problema namin ngayon, wala si Pugoy, wala si Mikey. So there is the tacit admission na kailangan namin si Mikey. Kaya lang, we can only bend over backward so many times.
Ito lang kung hinihintay ng mga tao yung final word ko, na-miss ko yung spin tuloy, Boss Homer. Ako dito, isa lang yung masasabi ko dito kay Mikey Williams Masyado nang abusado Di ba? Pinagbigyan ka na minsan sa contract renegotiation, nung nag-renegotiate kayo ng bagong kontrata, sinagad mo na. Saan ka naman nakakita ng kontrata na tatagal lamang ng 9 months? Di ba? Where in fact sa PBA po, usually ang mga deal dyan, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, ayaw mo ng long term. Kasi gusto mong i-hostage yung kupunan na pinaglalaroan mo. At itong timing na to, Boss Homer, kung totoo yung 2.4 million na hinihingi na yan ni Mikey, kakaguhan ho yan. Alam niyo kung bakit? Nakita niya kasi na wala si Pugoy, wala si Poeram, di ba? Madidelay yung pagbalik ni RHJ, nagkakaedad si Jason Castro. Alam niya na kailangan siya. Pero ang nakakalimutan nito si Mikey Williams, ang koponan, team game po yan, hindi ikaw lang. Kung kaya mo maglaro 1 against 5, sige, ibibigay ng token text yung 2.4 million sa'yo. And it sets a bad precedent, Boss Homer, na yung player, kung gagaling, mananalo ng MVP, pwede pala akong humingi ng 2.4 million, pwede pala akong humingi ng 1.3 million per month, di ba, na ang salary cap lang 4 or 120,000, gagawin na ho ng lahat ng mga magagaling na player yan. Ito lang ang isa, Boss Homer, si Junmar nga, 7 na ang MVP, hindi ganyan kasakit sa ulo para sa koponan niya And I think sa attitude na ganyan itong si Mikey Williams, Boss Homer, kahit nasa San Miguel siya, sa tingin ko, mapupundi sa kanya. Kasi tandaan nun ninyo yung San Miguel, sinasabi nila, galante, galante. Pero pag humingi ka ng higit-higit doon sa naka-budget lang, naka-alat lang para sa isang player sa kanila, hindi yun nila ibibigay yan. San Miguel gives their players with packages like poultry, gas station, wherein you can earn somewhere else. And San Miguel can also earn at the same time. Diba?
Yes.
Pero kung hihingin mo yung napakalaking pera na wala namang balik para sa kumpanya, katulad doon ng token text, na paglalaro lang ang maibibigay mo, bugo ka. Diba? Walang pinag-iba yan, boss, sa Shota Pag yung girlfriend mo, bigay ng bigay, sige, pagbibigyan mo. Pero pag sumobra na, sumagad na, Louis Vuitton, Chanel na yung gusto, aba, may punto natitigil ka, mapupunti ka, ibe-break mo na. Diba tapos ito mga pilam na to, na katulad nila Chris ko, sasabihin nyo, stop talking about other people's pockets. Diba? Kagaguhan nyo yan, kinakampihan nyo, kaibigan nyo, kainuman nyo tama? Kainuman nyo lang yan kaya nyo pinagtatanggol Subukan natin na ang humingi ibang lokal. Pagtatanggol nyo? Di ba, pinipigilan lang ho kasi namin sa PBA na lumaki na ng lumaki yung pasweldo ng mga teams dahil laluhong nagiging hindi balanse yung mga koponan. Tingin nyo ba kaya ng Blackwater magbigay ng 2.4 million pag nauso yan? Tingin nyo kaya ng Terra Firma, ng Northport, ng Converge? Yun nga lang kung Converge, kawawang-kawawa na Independent team sila pero parang alien po sila doon sa liga. Di ba? Isa-isang nawawala yung mga player nila sa hindi natin malamang kadahilanan. Di ba? Yan ho yung iniiwasan namin. na pagka naging imbalance yung liga, pagka tumaas yung hinihinging sweldo, maapektuhan ho yung mga laro. Diba? At ako, tama na nga yung token text. Dapat nga, ginawa na nila ito last time eh. Hindi na nila binigay yung gusto eh. Kasi pa, habang binibigay mo yung gusto, mas lumalaki ng lumalaki. Dati, daliri lang ang hinihingi. Hiningi yung buong kamay. Ngayon, buong katawan mo na kinukuha.
Yes.
Diba? Yun lang ho yung isa. Yun lang ho yung, kung nanonood ka ngayon, Mikey, ha? Mukha kang pera. Kung totoong hinihingi mo yung 2.4 million. Saka nakakita 2.4. Alam mo naman yan eh. Nagpa-drop ka sa PBA. Alam mo, ang maximum pay sa PBA is only 420. Ngayon, hihingi ka ng mas mataas parang 2 milyon. Hindi ba kakapalan ng mukha yan? Kung napag-champion mo yung token text sa mag-isa ka, sige, humingi ka. Kaso may mga kakampi ka pa na kailangan hatian ng budget. Tandaan ho ninyo, in a year, ang isang team may budget hong inaalat yan para sa lahat. Kasama mga ball boy, mga doktor, mga coaches, di ba, mga secretariat nila. Kung mapupunta sa lahat yan, ano matitira doon? Paano pa mga bonuses niyan? Eh, hindi naman ho kumikita yung token text dahil iwan na iwan pa rin sa Globe. Di ba? Hihiling ka lang ng todo, sinasagad mo pa. Ano sa tingin mo? Sana sa NBA ka naglaro kung gusto mo ng 2.4 million a month. Pesos. Anyway, sensya ka na, Boss Homer, ha? Medyo napupuno na lang tayo. And besides, huwag niyong gagamitin yung mga trolls ninyo para atakin kami mga media na tapat na gumagawa sa aming mga trabaho. Di ba? Dahil halatang-halata naman na dinideploy niyo yung mga trolls nyo dahil yung mga kanang inang mga nagte-text na nagtutweet sa amin, walang mga muka. Di ba? Wala akong mga bayag para ilabas yung mga bukat tunay na pangalan nila para i-message kami at makipagbartagulan sa amin. Anyway, so yun lang, Boss Homer. So ito, bago kita mahigit isang oras na tayo, Boss Homer, lipat na tayo dun sa exciting UAAP Final Four. So we already saw what's at number 1, it's UP. And then number 2 is Lasal. And then number 3 is NU. Maglalaban dyan sa Final Four is Lasal and NU. And now UP is waiting for the winner of Adamson and Ateneo playoffs. What do you think of this Final Four ng UAAP?
Well, I'm looking forward to UP. Ang galing ng UP. I'm sorry I'm late to the party. You know, sometimes my affinity and my fandom towards Ateneo because of their impeccable coach and their management. Na close-minded ako. But UP is very good, Snow. They would be very difficult to beat, and especially twice to beat sila. So look at this scenario. Even if Ateneo beats Adamson, first of all, if Adamson beats Ateneo and faces UP, 0 chance to beat UP. Adamson, let me put it here. Adamson has 0 chance to beat UP twice. Ang maganda dito, Ateneo, if Ateneo beats Adamson, kasi may color na, di ba? It would be the 3rd time in the postseason, 3 years in a row that they would beat. Pero the hurdle that Ateneo has to go through is beating UP twice. So the same team that had once lost 3 in a row, very consistent, you're now expecting them to win 3 in a row, di ba? Talunin ng Adamson, and then UP twice. So very difficult position for Ateneo to be in. Pero galing ng UP. I think it's very well coached. They have a mixture of veteran and, you know, young players. Tapos yung guards nila, it's a guard-heavy league, itong UAAP. UP has 5 of the best. So, mahirap talunin. Second, Lasal has the easiest path to the, to me lang I think it's the easiest path to the finals kasi twice to beat against NU. NU's very good team with Kian Baclaan. Very good teams, no, but they are not peaking at the wrong time. Diba? They lost 2 in a row. They should have beaten Adamson, and they lost badly to UP today. So it's a very bad place for them. 2 defeats in a row, going to the Final Four against Kiambao, who's inarguably the best player of the league right now this conference season. He'd be crowned MVP for sure. Tapos Nelly has grown. Evan Nelly has been getting a lot of beef na ano daw, very impulsive, ganito, ganon. But you have to give credit. Very ballsy. If you need a guy who wants to take over the game, who's not afraid to take the big shot, you have Evan Nelly. Tapos very good playmaker pa. So, sa tingin ko dito, it would be LaSalle for sure to go to the finals. And that would be a big win for the program. Because remember last year, they didn't even sniff the Final Four. They were a very disappointing team last season. And basically, a year later, with basically the same manpower, and Topex Robinson takes them to the finals. And UP, I'll give UP the edge kasi nga 50-50 sila against Ateneo, but Ateneo has to beat UP twice. So yun lang. At the end of the day, I think it's a UP LaSalle finale, Snow. Yeah. Yes. Boosters. Mga boost. Yeah.
Kumbaga, sorry po, binababa ko yung mic ko, nag-e-echo po kasi si Homer. So, yun nga, ano, so ako nakikita ko rito, UP is trying to build a dynasty and that, di ba, parang yung mga boosters nila, alam naman natin, may yaman yan coming from different companies, owning different corporations, di ba, so isa na nga dyan, yung Robinsons, di ba, so bumubuhuso talaga sila and continue yung kanilang build up. No, and what I want naman about LaSalle is nagre-rebuild sila pero ito nakikita ko ninyo nagbubunga agad. No, and Coach Topex Robinson is one of the best young coaches that we have in the country right now and he's taking itong ang LaSalle dun sa tamang direksyon. 'Di ba? And with the support pa rin ng ibang mga boosters ng LaSalle, I think this is going to be an exciting UAAP the next seasons of the UAAP is going to be exciting. And ito yung Ateneo naman they're on a disappointing campaign. Who would expect at the start of the UAAP na nandiyan sila sa pwesto na yan na kailangan pa nilang makipaglaban sa Adamson for a spot in the Final Four. 'Di ba? And siguro pag tinalo pa ng Adamson yung Ateneo, although a lot of people are saying is far-fetched pero bilog ang bola, baka this might signal the split between Ateneo and Tab Baldwin. Kasi, di ba, hindi ka nag-perform doon sa ine-expect sa'yo eh. Di ba? So, it's going to be a good, I don't know if it's a good exit for Tab Baldwin who is being rumored. Actually, ang dami yung natin mga sources na nagsabi na kinausap na siya ng Indonesia for a possible stint on January. Di ba? January, that's 2 months from now. Di ba? Ang season ng UAAP will end December. So, kung if you're going to connect the dots, gaya ng mga dots na yan, nakikita ninyo kay Homer, ayan, it's pointing to something else. Di ba, Boss Homer? So, do you think a disappointing finish ng Ateneo dito would have an impact on Tab Baldwin's team, Boss Homer?
Yes and no. Yes, because tama ka, Snow, there was, nakausap ko mismo si Coach Tab Baldwin. And sabi niya, yes, there was some initiation with Indonesia. Of course, I'm saying this na when I say initiation with may contact sa Indonesia. But when I say na si Coach Tab and his representation nag-contact ng Indonesia, it doesn't mean to say na disloyal sila to Ateneo. They're just saying na we are open to hearing other options, di ba? Kung baga, just like any agent, kung may magandang offer sa client mo, you tell your client na, hey, may magandang offer dito. Diba? So, it's not born out of disloyalty or unhappiness. Nakikinig lang siya. Na maganda bang offer? What do I have here? Long-term ba to? So, Coach Lab told me, last time we spoke, is wala na daw contact sa Indonesia. But that could change in a minute. No, because mahal from what I found out, Idol, the Ateneo alumni is very crazy about Baldwin. Kumbaga, kung Madonna song is crazy for you. So there is, because of the 4 titles that he had won, and the cachet that Baldwin has given Ateneo beyond the victories, talagang he had re-established the brand. Diba? When you think Ateneo now, you know, yun ang effect, ha? With no disrespect to Coach Norman Black and Coach Chot Reyes, who were really also good at Ateneo. Pero when you talk about Ateneo, it's always like, oh, Baldwin. Diba? So he has become almost synonymous to the brand.
Pero sa par ba yung performance si Baldwin ngayon? Did you expect them to be fighting Adamson for the playoffs?
Yes, of course. It's under ano. Yun na nga, Snow. It's you know, the good business model is, you know, you allow room for error, and if you have prior success, the room for error gets bigger. Diba? So naiintindihan, may gravitas. And you know, even from the very beginning, para tayong nasa buffet. When we look at Ateneo, it's like the buffet. Our eyes are hungrier than our stomach. So yun din ang Ateneo, kasi we refuse to believe when Baldwin, during the pre-season press conference, when he said na, you know, I have a very young team, inexperienced, 4 na key players na wala sa akin, so this might be a stormy season. We refuse to believe it kasi ang expectation natin for Ateneo is that automatic kayo sa Final Four. You are Ateneo. We forgot that there are still other parts here that need to be put together for that to happen. So, yun. So, you know, to answer your question, yes, it could eventually lead to an exit to Indonesia, but no, if the alumni has a say, they can always match that. Alam mo naman, may pera din yung mga boosters ng Snow.
Pero doble yung alok sa kanya sa Indonesia eh. So, ikaw man yun, boss, di ba? Ako man yung bilyonaryo, kinukuha kita sa spin, dinoble ko, saan ka? Di ba? Sa iba. Tapos, there is this part of Tab Baldwin that tells him na you are not loved here anymore. Di ba? Yes. By the management. Di ba? By the management. Di ba? Filipino people love him. Di ba? Pero, di ba? The management, di ba? Ang sakit tong, di ba? Bigla ka nawala sa gilas eh. Pero ito lang. Boss Homer, lipat na tayo sa mga trades. Yung mga nagtatanong about NCAA, siguro sa ibang araw namin yan kasi ang dami namin topic na diniscuss. Imagine, 1 hour lang ang usapan namin ni Boss Homer, 1 hour and 12 minutes na kami. Pero Boss Homer, ito lang. Let's talk about trades, upcoming trades sa mga nadidinig mo. Sa ngayon, hindi ako nakapagtanong the previous days, ha? Pero yung sinabi ko lang sa inyo, yung mga possible na ina-eye dati ng token text, na Ray Suerte, di ba, boss? Tinitingnan nila eh, di ba? Pero, kasi yung token text, so kailangan nilang i-plug yung loophole nila ngayon dun sa backcourt nila because of Mikey Williams' absence and Roger Pugoy. Okay, pero bago tayo sa mga trades, baka may mga nadidinig na si Boss Homer. Ito lang, sa this coming November 24, Game 1 ho, between Pampanga Giant Lanterns tsaka Bacoor Strikers ng MPBL. So, boss, exciting din ito, ha? So, pag nag-champion dito yung Pampanga, boss, parang manunumbalik yung NBA season nung rival league ng PBA dati, di ba? Na Pampanga yung champion. Tapos mukhang magtatayo rin ho ng dynasty itong Pampanga dyan sa MPBL, ha? So, start po yan is on November 24, dyan ho sa Bren Sigyao. And then, game 2 po nila will be on November 27. Nakapahinga yung Pampanga ngayon. Bukas ang kanilang ensayo ng hapon. Tapos, December 1 po ang game 3. And then, kung kailangan pa, December 4 sa Strike Gym ho, yung games 3 and 4. Okay? So, ayan, good luck po sa mga kababayan natin sa Pampanga. Good luck nila yung San Juan, ha? Di ba, boss? Come from behind win yung kanilang rehearsal. Although a lot of people are not expecting that to happen sa Pampanga. Pero they're being paraded by a guy named Justin Baltasar, no? So, isa yan sa mga... Encho Serrano. But anyway, gusto ko sana pag-usapan si Justin Baltasar, pero lipat na tayo sa mga trades. Boss, may mga nadidinig ka ba ngayong mga bagong trades yan, Boss Homer?
Wala, because alam mo, no, the season just started, and yung narinig ko dati na trade na for Converge, you know, di ba, kukunin sana nila si Quinto at saka si Nieto, and then TNT was eyeing the Kevin Alas, and obviously that's not gonna happen anymore with Kevin presumed to have ACL. So Yun, wala akong nakikinig. That was put on abeyance, put on hold muna yung trade. So, wala akong narinig. No, kaya nga, dikit na dikit ako sa Twitter feed mo eh. Kasi baka may makita tayong magandang trade. But it makes sense, you know, circling back to what you said. If there's gonna be trades happening, it's gonna be TNT looking to boost that backcourt kasi they're resigned to their fate na wala na si Mikey. And then Pugoy, nakausap ko pala si Pugoy, no medication yung yung heart condition niya, wala daw siyang iniinom na medication, but rest lang talaga. So, God knows that would take time. So, definitely di siya lalaro this conference. So, TNT has this urgency to put that backcourt together again kasi parang Humpty Dumpty, broken. And tsaka yung San Miguel at tsaka maybe Ginebra. So yun lang. Yung meaningful teams eh. Kasi if Blackwater does trades to improve it, walang nakikinig eh kasi it's Blackwater. Same thing. By the way pala, Snow, I should give credit where credit is due. Terra Firma, thumbs up for Terra Firma, 2 wins in a row. I have been hard on them over the last few seasons, but they have shown some allegiance to wanting to win. So maganda ang tignan kasi people always assume pag lalaro yung Terra Firma, talo agad. But now, they're really doing good. So credit to the coaching staff at Coach Cardell. Good job, Coach.
At saka ang maganda dyan sa Terra Firma, hanggat hindi pa nila makakalaban yung mga San Miguel, hindi magagalaw yung lineup nila eh. Diba? So, intact yung lineup ninyo. Sige, galingin ninyo, mga kids. Diba? Parang ganun eh. Ganun yung naamoy ko dyan eh. Diba, Boss Homer? So, hindi, pero ako, Boss, ito talk and text, no? Might expect a movement. Siguro mag-update ako sa tweets natin o mag-live tayo ulit one of these days, Boss Homer. Alamin na natin yung magiging galaw nitong talk and text dahil nga po sa kailangan nilang punan yung kanila pong guard spot, no? Tapos aging na rin po itong si Jason Castro, and then from what I heard, no, si Ray Suerte nga po daw yung inaay, at saka ito po si Christian David, pero ang sabi nga nila, Boss Homer, is hindi mo nagagalaw itong Blackwater, mukhang may pangako daw ito si Mr. Joseldo, dito po kay Coach Jeffrey Carriazo na walang movement muna sa team for 1 year. Diba? So, tingnan nun natin kung ano mangyayari. Pero, yung 1 year na yan, boss, mukhang malabo yan eh. Kasi yung pick nila, mukhang papunta na. Yung pick nila, mukhang may pupuntahan na. Diba?
Yes, but not only that, these are unwritten covenants that can be broken depending on the situation, diba? So, kung ako si Giseldo, I can come to Coach Jeff, and say, yeah, I promised you na walang galaw sa manpower, pero yung record mo ngayon is 1-2. So, if we're winning, like kung manalo kayo, you have a good winning record, then you can say, I need to stick to this commitment. Pero kung wala din namang panalo, like, they beat Converge and then they lost 2 in a row. So, it's back to same pa rin. So, what's to say, di ba, kung sabihin ni Giseldo na I gave you my word na wala akong manpower change, pero hindi rin naman tayo nananalo eh. So, I can break that bond. So, yun lang. So, yun din ang problema.
Boss Homer, if po ako si Giseldo, I'll start looking for trades kasi unang-una, yung ibang mga players na dyan, mag-unrestricted free agency na. Di ba? One of them is Troy Rosario. So, pag hindi mo pa yan itinrade, wala ka makukuha dyan. Nakapalit. Di ba? Kasi do you think Troy Rosario will renew his contract sa inyo? Wala siyang bonus? Yan kasi yung isa sa mga inaabangan din ng mga player eh. Yung mga bonuses, playoffs bonuses eh. Di ba? Kung yung team mo hindi umaakit ng malaki nga yung sweldo niya, pero di ba wala siyang dagdag na kita na coming from the bonuses, lilipat yan ng ibang mga koponan. So dapat gumalaw na. Tama ka, no, Boss Homer? Nagtatatalo ka rin lang naman. Di ba? What's the point of keeping this team intact? Di ba?
Yes.
Pero yung totoo ba yun, Boss Homer, yung trade nila, yung pick nila, posibleng ma-trade? Yung pick nila ngayong this coming draft next year?
Posible. Alam mo naman Blackwater has shown that may history na kasi na napiprade yung pick nila. So, I wouldn't say na hindi mangyari. Yun na nga, ito narinig ko as rumors na even this pick that they had, it was Blackwater was supposedly willing to trade it for another asset. So yun, hindi sila, let me just put it this way. Blackwater has a history of not necessarily wanting to keep the picks that they get, no matter how high. So yun ang problema. So,
pero yung Blackwater ba, boss, hindi willing makipag-trade sa katulad kunyari ng player na kukuha sila kasi ang daming kulang sa mga posisyon nito pero isang kailangan nila, big man Ayaw ba nila, boss, na mga katulad ni na Barkley Ebonia, mga ganon? Sina Justin Arana, ganon? Ayaw ba nila niyan?
I don't know. I can't say for sure, pero, if they really want a big, they already have Troy Rosario. They can, they can make a negotiation with him. Bago ka mag-free agent, pwede ba extend natin to, di ba? But I don't think so. From what sa narinig ko, babalik sa MVP group yan si Troy Rosario.
Pero hindi ba siya nililigawan ng Converge, boss? Yung Blackwater? Kasi if there is one perfect opportunity for Converge to get hold of this guy, eto, titigan mo mabuti, boss, yung nasa screen na, titignan mo muna si Coach Alden Ayan, nangangailangan pa yan ng isang player. Di ba? Na isa kulang na lang sa pyesa nila. Isa na lang talaga kulang sa pyesa nito Di ba? And I think ang kulang na lang sa pyesa nito pong koponan na yan ay yaan. Di ba? And hindi matuloy-tuloy yung kanya pong pagpasok sa PBH because wala akong magandang opportunity for a good pick. Ito pong Converse. Kasi pag ito nagpa-draft to, 1, 2, 3 agad to No? And I'm looking at number 1. Di ba? Ito si Justin Baltasar. So wala ka ba na amoy, boss, na nililigawan ng Converge yung Blackwater, especially now that Terra Firma is nagpapapanalo?
Well, Snow, if you look at the record, Converge is 0-3. Baka if this is a bad season, a conference for them, all teams go through bad conferences. Kung manatili silang palaging ganito na bad yung plays nila, they might not even need Blackwater's help.
Sa bagay. Pero I don't think Converge is tanking It's just that they're groping for form kasi dalawang key players yung nawala sa kanila Di ba? And kung ako po yung Converge, kung nakikinig po sa atin yung management ng Converge, next time po na may player na ayaw mag-sign up sa inyo at nagpapaduday, nanghihingi ng malaki, huwag nyo i-release basta-basta. I-ground nyo. Kasi nagiging president Di ba? Yung ginawa ni Maverick RBC, pinakawalan nyo lang ng walang kalaban-laban. Kasi may pride at prinsipyo kayo na ayaw nila sa amin, ayaw ko na rin sa'yo. Huwag kong ganon. Kasi nagsusunod-sunod na. Malay nyo, kinokontak, hindi ko naman sinasabing gano'n na nga, malay nyo, kinokontak ng ibang mga teams yan, mamaya lahat ng mga players niyo ganyan na gawin. Di ba, Boss Homer?
Yes, I agree. But I trust the judgment of the team executives. Kung I don't know what the wisdom is, you never know what's going behind the scene, pero tama, it creates a bad precedent na, may player na unhappy, tapos nirelease lang agad. I think there should be a reminder sa mga players na, kung ayaw niyo sa amin, fine, it's good. We will keep your rights.
Correct,
diba?
correct.
Pwede.
Kasi ganyan yung ginagawa ng ibang mga teams Pag ayaw mo sa amin, sige, hold ka. Di ba? Hindi ka po pwedeng maglaro sa ibang mga koponan. Amin ang karapatan sa'yo. Di ba? Maano ka dyan, ma-embargo ka dyan. Di ba? Kasi hindi, na-over niya sa prinsipyo tong Converge to the point na, di ba? Parang hindi nila alam yung mga repercussions di ba, nung nangyayari. But anyway, Boss Homer, mukhang nawawalan ka na ng signal at salamat sa'yo kahit kagigising mo dyan sa Chicago, Illinois, binigyan mo kami ng oras na makasama ka. Boss Homer?
Walang problema, Snow. Thank you so much.
Oo nga.
Salamat.
Wala ka na ba idadagdag, Boss Homer? Wala ka nang i-share pa sa ating mga viewers?
Wala na. Mag-freeze na yata itong ko
Oo
nga. But thank you. Gawin natin ulit to. We should do this more often, no? Siguro twice a week para may regularity, di ba? Tapos yung mga listeners mo, tapos yung mga followers ko din sa Twitter, at least they have something to look forward to. Parang ma-schedule na rin nila, di ba?
Tsaka ito yung mga nakikiuso sa mga comment section na galito kay Homer, wag ho kayo maniwala sa kanila. Hindi ho fake news. Hindi ho rumor monger si Homer, kasi kilala ko yung mga sources niya. Kasi kadalasan, pag may tinawagan akong kuliglig ko, kausap ko na si Homer kanina, nabanggit ko na yan. Naunahan ako. Ganon. Di ba? Tingnan mo yung tweet niya, nilabas na niya. Kasi yung mga tao behind doon sa mga information na nasasagap ko, kadalasan po kausap niya. At madalas sa mga kausapan ni Homer, yung mga mismong may-ari pa ng mga koponan, yung mga mismong governor, yung mga mismong executives pa. So, wag yung ismulin niya si Homer, no? At si Homer, kahit hindi na pinapansin, kahit inaaway pa ng mga tinatawagan niya, talagang kinukulito niyang tawagan. All in the name of journalism. Diba? So, ako nga po, dapat palakpakan niyo si Homer. Kaya nga ako kay Homer, pag may tumira agad isa na mga personality, ako na ang bumabalik eh. Kasi matindi ang respeto ko kay Homer. Isipin ho ninyo nung grade 6 po ako, pag nagpupunta kami sa Cebu, binabasa ko po yung mga istorya niya. At di ko in-expect na makakadaupang palad ko siya pag ako po yung nagtrabaho na. Di ba? Tandaan mo yan, Boss Homer, grade 6 pa lang ako, binabasa ko na yung mga istorya mo sa Cebu.
Thank you. You're making me old.
Anyway, Homer, maraming salamat sa iyo at thank you sa oras mo. Let's do this again. Kailan ang day off mo dyan sa Chicago?
Well, I'll just message me and I'll make it work. Kasi pwede naman makipagpalitan.
Sige.
So, yan ang gawin ko.
May bubulong ako sa iyo.
The idea is to make it more continuous, may parang set schedule para yung mga listeners naman natin is they can have the di ba? They can have parang we are asking them to inconvenience their time. Pero if we let them know ahead of time na ito yung schedule namin, kung pwede, yung mag-listen. So, mas maganda kung gano'n, di ba? So, yun lang. But we'll make it...
Dapat nga, Webes kami ni Homer, kaya lang pareho kami nagkasakit. Ako nagka-gout, siya parang nag-under the weather din sa US. Malamig ngayon kasi Chicago. Ano temperature ngayon dyan, boss? 3?
Ngayon, hindi pa naman. We are unseasonably warm. We are 44 degrees ngayon. 44.
Fahrenheit?
Yeah, no. Yes, Fahrenheit.
Kala ko
Kala
ko Celsius eh. Kasi Celsius.
Are we Celsius or Fahrenheit? Fahrenheit. Ito yung anak ko. I just asked him.
Kasi pag
Say hi to Uncle Snow. Say hi to Uncle Snow. Come here. Kagigising lang.
Ayun yung anak. Ay, hi. Ano siya? Siya ba yung abogado o yung pamangkin mo yun? Yung abogado? Siya ba?
Pamangkin ko yun. Ito, magdodoktor.
Off
sa college ngayon kasi Thanksgiving break.
Ang laki ng katawan mo.
Ito, nag-jiu-jitsu yan.
Jiu-jitsu ba? Kaya may mga panlaban ka na sa mga umaaway sa'yo, Homer. Okay. So, Homer, next week ulit.
Boss, thank you.
Next week ulit, boss, ha? Next week ulit, magsama tayo ulit para mabigyan natin ng boses yung mga nababasa lang nila sa tweet. Tsaka may titip ako sa'yo, Boss Homer. Boss Homer,
yes.
Dumalas ang pagsasama natin sa Spin POV pag bumalik na. Standby ka lang dyan, ha?
Yes!
Okay.
Thank you.
So, yung mga viewers mo namin, hingin kami ng like po sa inyo at pakishare na rin po itong broadcast namin para mas marami pa po tayo mga sports fans sa makadinig ng mga pinag-usapan po namin ni Homer. Boss Homer, maraming salamat sa iyo. Love you!